Okay, so the first review of the latest episode of Bleach had some DMCA issues, so this is going to be the second recording. Basically, going to go over the same stuff I went over in the first recording. The first recording is going to be up on TikTok, but just wanted to put this one out here just for the YouTube guys. Basically, we start off this episode with a Quincy meeting, which is very reminiscent of the Espada meeting with Aizen. Instead of Aizen, we have Hashfall here, who's basically telling them, relaying the orders of Bach, basically saying, like, listen, you got to take these guys out, annihilate them, don't play around with them, like last time. And they're probably training to fight without Bankai. And this turns out to be true, as we see later in the episode. They basically have a rematch with the captains. But before we get to that, which is, again, the table, everything is just... Man, this is very similar again to the Espada thing, and I love it. They're copying the Espada, but I like it. But anyway, so before the captains face off against them again, we get this little like backstory, which I forget where it is. Is it right here? Where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. Let's see. Maybe it's this guy has on his channel. Basically, it's explained that that basically the Quincy, they have their own separate pocket dimension, and this pocket dimension is basically they used to create it with their reishi, because they feed on reishi Quincy's, their primary source of power, so they're able to create this pocket dimension in the Seirete, which is how they were able to hide for 1,000 years. And Bach in the Sternritter explained that this episode. I thought that was very interesting. I really liked hearing that. So that was really cool. And then we get to see Rengaku, or however you say his name. I'm probably butchering it right now. And Niao, they basically face off against Hashfault. And Hashfault, he gets nerfed by Niao, who's using this Keto spell. And this Keto spell, basically, she used from the first time. She learned this just from... Basically, they took the remnants of the Quincy from their first invasion, and she came up with this spell that can nerf the Quincy. And at least for this episode, this nerfs them. I don't think it's going to work long term. Before this episode, it worked out for her. So he's out of the fight, which is very important because he's like the most powerful dude besides Bach. Let's count Uryu and some of the other guys for the manga-only readers that know. So we got that. What else we got going on here? Oh, yeah. So then... we got Hitsugaya facing off against Bansby, and he shows up with Rangiku. Rangiku looking over, the cameraman knows what he's doing over here, obviously. And, he's faced off against Bansby. And, basically how he's fighting without his Bankai is Hitsugaya and Rangiku are working together to try to compensate. So she's using Smash thing, he's using his ice, and they create like this really hard wall of ice with the ash and the ice, but Bansby is able to get through it with his little spirit gun thing, fire gun, whatever that thing's called, finger beam, and then he's able to get the upper hand. Then we get to see Zoiphone, and she shows up to save Odaime, or however you say this guy's name, I forget. I mean, she's looking like a snack here. She's looking great. I mean, there's some great shots. Again, shout out to the animators. They did a great job. So Shiso shows up, saves her simp guy, and, fights this android dude, rematch. Then, he goes, like, full android and messes her up. And he basically says, like, he doesn't even need to use the Bankai that he stole from her. So there's that. And then I also saw this. Well, hold on, before we get to that. We got Ichigo walking down that... pocket dimension still that Ichibei ordered him the pocket to walk down, which is like putting on some crazy pressure on his body, which is probably gonna make it where like similar to the weight training that the other realms are gonna be nothing to him, so he's gonna be able to move at crazier speed, flex more of his powers, because Ichigo's got everything at this point. And then Ichibei says something about like in Japanese right here, which means like everybody's going to, the path to nowhere or something like that. And then I saw this. I thought this was really cool. I wanted to go over it. Again, I went over this in the original version that was DMCA to this video. And again, just to play this with no sound, but it was really cool. Get to see the anime and manga comparison. And there we got Mayuri looking great. Rangiku, of course. Zoiphone looking great. And I mean, just the animators, great job, and just looks, very true to the manga. And again, I think that's what's carrying a lot of the series, just the animation alone. I'm not saying the other stuff ain't good, but the animation is fantastic in this series so far. So yeah, this is my review for YouTube. The original review, which honestly I think is better, is going to be on TikTok. I'll have the link to that in the description. But it got DMCA because I played the sound, the original. Yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. And wherever you are, have a fantastic day.